Last time when we met here on 18th December, we were studying verses 7 and 8 of the 4th chapter of the Gita. This subject deals with the divine incarnation. I had occasion to refer to this concept of divine incarnation from the cultural point of view. It means a type of personality with extraordinary power and energy to do good to humanity, who can set in motion a current of love and compassion, tolerance and understanding, which in course of time will influence millions and millions of people. I have described the Avatara in my first volume of Eternal Values with two expressions: Avatara as history maker, Avatara as divinity. These two together coalesce in certain types of great people, and they command the reverence of humanity. They continue to command that reverence even after hundreds and hundreds of years. Such a category, a small number in world history, we could give no better name than a divine personality, and to whom we offer divine honor and divine worship. Such people are not many in world history. Lesser personalities influencing human life in various directions, there have been plenty. Sometimes a great author can inspire great social movements, like Karl Marx, for example. Tremendous world-moving power is there. So also other writers in other countries and writers in India, artists, nearly great intellectuals also. But this type of greatness is unique. That's what is being expressed here, that the divine spark in all of us, which shines only like just a winkling, just a little bit, that's all, shines in brilliance in that divine personality. So he is described as a divine embodiment, and he comes to lift us up to our own divine stature. That is the significance of Avatara in Indian cultural context. He has said in the 8th verse that in order to increase dharma, ethical value, humanistic value, compassion, service in society, he comes, and to destroy selfishness, violence, crime, etc., etc., for which he appears in this world, plays his part. Earlier incarnations, we find them actually destroying evil people, like Krishna destroying a Kamsa or a Shishupala. Such people you find the actual physical destroyer, because they were Kshatriyas. That was the dharma. But in Buddha, you don't find any destruction physically. Absolute love and compassion and lifting people morally and spiritually. In Jesus also you find the same. The spiritual energy flows, touching all sorts of people, including the sinners. Today in Sri Ramakrishna, you find that same power, just to influence people gently, silently, even without their knowing it. That is the divine power manifesting through a human body in various ways. Krishna referred to it, and now he will refer in verse 9, this birth and action of a divine incarnation, if you know it as it is truly, that there is a divine power playing in this person, not an ordinary human power, then you achieve your own spiritual development. In our bhakti movement in India, bhakti centered in a divine incarnation is the most dynamic power for human life and development. That bhakti is something tremendous because there is a divine person as an example to inspire us. Therefore, all our bhakti movements are centered in these divine incarnations, though they can be centered in the original divine reality behind the incarnation, like Shiva, like Vishnu, like Devi. You can be very divine and you can also develop your spiritual life. But when you find that same divinity incarnate, you find a personal relationship. He was a person, I am a person. As a person, I can see God only as a person. And He lived among us, and we saw His greatness. In this way, divine personality plays a great part in stimulating our spiritual life and action. So he said, Janma karma chame divyam, evam yogeti tattvataha. My janma and karma, my birth and actions, which are divine, divyam, they are not ordinary types. We have got our own janma and karma. We are as jivas, as ordinary human souls. We are hungry for various things. We run after this, we run after that. That is our janma and karma. Their case is different. They have nothing to run after. They are full. But from the very beginning, they are there to give out of the plenty that is within. That is their janma and karma. From very young days, they know that they have come for a great work. Janma karma cha me divya. Evam, thus, yo veti tattvataha. Those who understand, veti means understand. Tattvataha, in reality. The exact truth, this is something divine. I recognize it. When you do so, you must have attained some spiritual development. Otherwise, you cannot appreciate a divine personality. So, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. After death, that person never comes back to a rebirth. He becomes perfect, centered in the love of this divine personality, knowing him or her to be of the divine incarnation type. He or she will have no more rebirth. So, na says, punar naiti, mameti Arjuna, eti mameti. He comes unto me only. He achieves oneness with me. That is the highest spiritual development. A devotee seeks to be with God, living in His presence, just like a fish lives in water, always. Water is its life. Outside it, it cannot live. So we live in God all the time. Mameti Arjuna. Such a person is a very great spiritual sadhaka. Krishna is telling this capacity to understand the greatness of a divine incarnation. It doesn't come to everyone. Ramakrishna says, even many sages at the time of Sri Rama's incarnation couldn't understand that he was a divine incarnation. He's a great soul. You are a great person. That's how they used to call him. They used to respect him. But a divine incarnation they could not accept. Bharadwaja and other sages. So, a few others could immediately recognize the divine character of the personality. So this we can see in many cases. Krishna's divine greatness, some could not understand at all. But those who understand, they get a tremendous spiritual nourishment through that understanding. Next sloka, this number 10, is very famous and full of divine meaning. Vitaraga Bhayakrodha Manmaya Mam Upashritaha Bahavo Jnanatapasa Puta Madbhava Magataha. Very simple Sanskrit, profound meaning compressed in a few words. The last line says, Bahavo Madbhava Magataha. Many have achieved oneness with me. Earlier he said, those who realize me truly as a divine incarnation, they come unto me. Now he repeats it. Many have achieved this spiritual realization. It's not something new. All through the ages, how many people have striven and achieved this spiritual realization. Bahavo Madbhavam Agataha. That is the main framework of the verse. Many have come unto me and become one with me. Not one, not two, but many. It's a tremendous tradition of spiritual growth, development, and realization. How did they achieve it? That is the statement in the rest of the verse. And that statement is of profound meaning in our everyday life. Three things they overcame. What are they? Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Vita means without. Without Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Raga is sensory attachment. Bhaya is fear. Krodha is anger. Three emotions which are against moral and spiritual life of man. Mind you, even fear is not a friend of moral and spiritual life. Fear is inhibitor of high action. Ordinary small fears we need to survive as a human being. But for beyond that, fear is a negative force. Though many religions put fear of God, trembling before the fear of God, it has no moral value. You are made moral because of external pressure. Just like the policeman baton makes you behave in the right way in the road. You are not moral thereby. You are made moral by external force. So fear has nothing to do with moral and spiritual life. Vedanta is insisting it. Overcome fear. A true person doesn't need fear at all. So that word is added there. Attachment, fear, and anger. Three emotions which contain enormous energy. We have to transform that energy. How do you do so? That is the meaning of the next famous phrase. Jnana tapasa puta. Purified through the tapas of jnana. What a beautiful expression. Jnana is given the characteristic of a tapas, an austerity. Austerity of knowledge. What a beautiful idea. Physical austerity we often do, fasting and all that. That is very ordinary. The greatest tapas is mental. Mind doing tapas. Purifying everything through that tapas. That's called jnana tapas. Knowledge tapas. Suppose a child goes to school. Already he or she starts jnana tapas. He has to study a book, try to understand it, try to reproduce it in an essay. All this is jnana tapas. It is a hard job. You are training the mind thereby. So that itself is jnana tapas. The whole of secular education is treated in India as a jnana tapas. Knowledge doesn't come straight for you. You cannot just swallow knowledge. You have to work hard for it. When tapas goes away from education, education becomes cheap, very cheap. And much of education all over the world today is treated as cheap by great thinkers. In our country it is the worst. So cheap education has become. No need to think at all. The mind doesn't play any part. Jnana tapas has been completely taken away from education. I was interested to read a criticism of American education by the president of an American university. A very strong language he has used. There is a saying in English, casting pearls before swine. That's a saying in English. High ideas don't put before low class people. They won't understand at all. That is the meaning of casting pearls before swine. They won't appreciate a pearl. A swine cannot understand the glory of a pearl. Why do you cast like that? Similarly, putting ideas before very, very dull-witted people who cannot appreciate, you are wasting your energy. That's the English saying. Now, this president uses that saying with a little additional, what you call, spice in it, masala in it. They said, my work in this university is to cast artificial pearls before genuine swine. That's the language. How strong must be his feeling about it. So, this criticism comes all over the world today, where search for knowledge has been separated from the concept of tapas. This mind must be raised to the level of knowledge seeking. And what is learned must be digested, must be assimilated. All that is a tapas. Very hard job. As I told you, to hear a lecture from a teacher, then reproduce it in an essay, and then teacher examines it and finds you have done well. How much of mental tapas you have to do this? That tapas is gone. Everything is cheap. How can knowledge come? Then when you go to higher knowledge, how much more difficult it is. How much more of jnana tapas must be there. Your emotions of anger, your lustful tendencies, your hatred, your fear, all these have to be burned in the fire of knowledge. That is the tapas. That tapas is supreme. And therefore, this sloka says, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. Those who have overcome Raga, Bhaya and Krodha, attachment, fear and anger. Manmaya, they have become filled with me. Mam upashritaha, they have become devoted to me. They know that this divine is my own inner self. He is the self of all. Their mind is drawn towards their great reality. So, manmaya, mam upashritaha, bahavo, many such, jnana tapasa puta, purified in this fire of knowledge, transforming the energies of the three emotions of attachment, anger and fear into constructive, creative forms to strengthen personality and character. That is tapas. Without tapas, none of these can happen. As I often speak in this context, we take crude oil from the earth and we refine it and produce beautiful petroleum products. So this human mind and body can become a refinery, a psychological refinery. Take all these emotions, we just refine them. Out of this refining process, what comes out? Beautiful love, compassion, fearlessness, spirit of service, all this will come. Who does it? You do it. You have converted your body and mind into a beautiful refinery, out of which comes high character. What a beautiful conception. We have never thought about it in modern civilization. We are thinking of external things all the time. What is happening to me? I become egoistic, I become petty-minded, I become quarrelsome, and I become also violent and criminal. All this is happening in me. I have never handled this subject. That is wrong. Handle this. This is nearest to you. Your mind, your emotions, these are nearest to you. Handle them, purify them, refine them. What a high character will come out of it. And how happy human life will be. Interhuman relationships become happy. Husband and wife will have very happy relationship. What fulfilled life you will have. So the emphasis in this shloka number 10 is on this question of jnana tapas. Have you done jnana tapas? Jnana is knowledge. Knowledge is treated as a tapas. The greatest tapas is jnana tapas. Physical tapas is very ordinary. Some endurance record, that's all. But this is something that makes for high character and tremendous energy comes out of the individual concerned. That refinery we have to create in ourselves. Nobody else can do it for you and for me. If I want an oil refinery, I am sure any foreign country can advance a lot of money for a refinery. Here nobody is going to help you. You have to do it yourself. Though you can get guidance, lot of help you can get, but the actual setting up of the refinery and its functioning is by yourself. No separate engineers are there for it. You have to do it yourself. This is a beautiful idea which must be given to every child. By the time 5 and 6, the child, be a refinery within yourself. Try to run it. Whatever comes from outside, don't let it out. Refine it and then let it out. If you get something wrong from outside, refine it, send only right to the world outside. That's the nature of human psychological system with the divine behind it. Therefore we can do this. So this sloka has tremendous reference to human development, fulfillment, happy inter-human relationships, including international relationships. Any statesman can create tremendous problems for interstate relations if he or she hasn't got this refinement within even a little. But if they are well refined, they will be a source of tremendous international understanding and peace. Similarly in family, between parents and children, everywhere. So, we have to initiate this process when we are young, from the age of 6 and onwards. Then it becomes more intensive from 12, 13, 14. By the time you are 25, you must feel, yes, I have converted my body, mind into a laboratory for refining experience. What a beautiful idea of education. Along with it, whatever knowledge you get from the books and from schools and colleges will be beautiful. But without this, that knowledge will be harmful to you and to society. Vitaraga bhayakrotha manmaya mam upashrata bahavo jnana tapasa pota. Purified, pota means purified. Punanti, purified. Pota, purified by jnana. Jnana tapasa pota. Madhava magata. They have come unto me. They have become one with me. How many have achieved this? Why not I? Why not I? It's not a rare phenomenon. So many people all over the world, through various religions, through various other ethical and moral disciplines, they have come to this wonderful state. Even atheists and agnostics can come to this state because they may deny a God there, can't deny their own inner self. That is always there. So atheism, agnosticism, and all types of belief, they are all one in this particular process. We can overcome fear, anger, as well as sensory attachment. Convert every experience into the pure form by the jnana tapas, or the refining capacity of the human mind. Thus we can achieve a greatness which will not be similar, but will be in essence the same. I may not believe in God, but I can become deeply spiritual, deeply ethical, deeply human. There are many people among the agnostics who have high character. We never speak ill of agnosticism and atheism from the Vedanta point of view. Ordinary religions may be afraid of all these people, but not Vedanta. Vedanta has no fear at all of atheism and agnosticism. It welcomes everybody, that you are a human being. You have a tremendous center within yourself. You may not know it, but it is there. That is acting. When you become moral, when you become kind and compassionate, you are manifesting the divine within you. You may not know it. You don't put it that way. Vivekananda's definition of religion becomes relevant in this context. Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. When my ego manifests, I expel you from my presence. I repel you. When the Atman manifests, I attract you. I become attractive to you. That's the meaning of manifestation of the divine as religion. Everybody who has manifested this divine within even a little becomes a beautiful person. Happy relationships they will have with other people. So this is the most important thing for us to remember. This sloka or verse occurs not only here in this Gita, but also in that great book, Mandukya Upanishad Karika, of Gaudapada. Shankaracharya's teachers teach about 7th century AD. They're slightly changed, dealing with the transcendental experience of samadhi, beyond the world of relativity, beyond the world of name and form, the mind rising and realizing the infinite, the absolute. How does it happen? Describing that sloka says, Vedaraga bhayakrodhaihi munivi vedaparagaihi nirvikalpo hyayam drishtaha prapanchopachamo advayaha. Very beautiful expression from the Advaita experience point of view. The sloka says the same thing. Those who have gone beyond raga, bhaya, krodha, vedaraga, bhaya, krodhaihi, munibihi, those who are munis, means thoughtful people. Muni, mananashilo, munihi, Shankara defines. Ordinarily, we mean by muni, man observing silence. Maunam means silence. But the real meaning is not silence of speech, but the mind is under great discipline, thinking is under discipline, and is a thoughtful person. That kind of thing is called muni, manana shilo. Whatever he says, behind it, there is a tremendous thinking, not blurting out. A muni cannot blurt out. What he says, there is weight in it. Most of us talk, there is no weight in it. Whereas when they talk, there is weight in it. Half a sentence is enough to carry tremendous meaning for you. That kind of speaking less and thinking more is called muni. Manana shilo, munihi, it is said. Such munis who have overcome raga, bhaya and dvesha, vitaraga, bhaya, krodhaihi, munibihi. Then one more thing they have achieved. Veda paragaihi. They have gone beyond the Vedas. Nowhere else in the world's literature, except in this Sanatana Dharma, will you find an expression like this. We go beyond the Vedas, go beyond the Quran, go beyond the Bible. Their experience is the most important thing. Words do not give you the truth. Truth comes through experience. So such people who begin to experiment in spiritual life, want to experience the highest, they go beyond the Vedas. They go beyond all these sacred books. What a beautiful idea. Throughout our history of religion, we have always emphasized this point, that a mystic who experiences religion goes beyond all these holy books. Holy books are needed for you and me to learn some elements of spiritual life. These people have lived it, experienced it. In one passage in the Vedas, it is actually said in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, to a man who knows Brahman, the ultimate reality, Vedo Avedo Bhavati. Veda becomes no Veda. You see the language. Vedo Avedo Bhavati. And Shankaracharya also comments on a passage that like a servant who carries a lamp in front, for you to go becomes the Veda to that person. He doesn't need the help, but Veda offers to help him. That's right. He is absolutely the master. He knows the truth himself. For what is the Veda? Utterance of those who know the truth. Here is a man who knows the truth. Why should he depend upon the Veda? So actual experience takes you beyond books. At a certain stage, books become a botheration. Upanishad itself says that Vacho Viglapanam Hitat. Speech is only, study and reading is only so much of distraction of the human mind. Go on reading until your mind is completely distracted. Never. Try to experience the truth, what you are reading about. So many passages you will find this emphasis that man can take recourse to books in the beginning, holy books, later on discard them. Try to realize the truth that is contained there. The experience is a real stress of true religion. Not reading, not scholarship. A man who has read many books, a big scholar, what does it matter? He doesn't know anything. In fact, Ramakrishna in one of his parables says, great scholars who do not practice moral and spiritual life, they are like vultures flying high up in the sky, very high, but their attention is on the dead bodies on the earth below, on the little things of daily life. That is Ramakrishna's famous example. So what is the use of that? High scholarship and small mind. What is the use of that? Develop a high mind. That is more important. So, Munithi, Veda Paragaihi, they have gone beyond the Vedas. You read in the second chapter already, Krishna telling Arjuna, the Vedas deal with the three gunas. Go beyond the three gunas, Arjuna. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. You go beyond the three gunas. Vedas deal with the three gunas only. So in this way, Gaudapada says, there have been many people who had overcome lust, fear and anger, and then who had become thoughtful, very, very thoughtful, and then who had gone beyond the Vedas. Bahavo, many such. Jnana tapasa puta, we saw in the Gita, Jnana tapasa puta. But here, in the Mandukya, it is Vitaraga Bhaikrovadhaihi Manibhi Vedaparagaihi Nirvigalpo Hyayam Drishtaha. This Nirvigalpa state has been realized. Nirvigalpa. Vikalpa means mental modification. Nirvigalpa, no mental modification. Absolute stillness. The ocean, full of waves, is one state. All the waves have subsided, the ocean is perfectly calm, that state, where only you can see the infinite, the immortal, the impersonal absolute reality of Brahman. So, Nirvikalpohi Ayam, this Nirvikalpa state, it is spoken with such definiteness, this Nirvikalpa state has been realized by such people. What is the nature of that state? Prapanchopashamo, in which this world of duality, this world of change, the world of relativity is completely dissolved. Imagine the statement, what beautiful statement. I see duality. Why? I look at reality through the five senses. If I can look at reality as it is, it will be quite different. You will see everything as Brahman, everything as pure consciousness. So, Nirvikalpo Hyayam Drishtaha, Prapancha Upashamo, this whole Prapancha becomes completely dissolved in that ultimate reality. Everything is Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. When Einstein was asked about the highest understanding of reality in physics today, he said there are two realities in physics today. One is matter, the other is the field energy. Both cannot be true, he said. For the field alone is true, the language. That field in which matter is a bubble. The whole universe is like a few bubbles, that's all. That infinite energy field, that is the truth. That is the truth. That knowledge, which is purely an intellectual knowledge, becomes an experiential knowledge through this kind of tapas, which Vedanta prescribes. Nirvikalpo Hyayam Drishtaha Prapanchopashamo. Not only so, Advayaha, non-dual. There is no multiplicity there. There is no duality there. One infinite consciousness is there, in which all this universe appears with all its diversities, and we see the diversity now with our senses. And when we realize this truth, diversity goes. Only one Atman in every being. That is the highest spiritual realization. In the Upanishads, it is highly commended. Brahmaiva, in the Mundaka Upanishad we studied here before we took up this Gita. In one of its verses, it was said, Brahmaivedam Amritam. This whole universe is the immortal Brahman. Brahmaivedam Amritam. Idam, universe. Idam means this manifested universe. He is the immortal Brahman. Brahmaivedam Amritam. Then he explains it further in the shloka. Purastat Brahma. Brahman is in front. Paschat Brahma, Brahman is behind. Dakshinavas Chostarena, on the right versus the left. Brahmaivedam Vishwamidam Vadishtam. The whole universe is that divine Brahman, nothing else. That worshipful Brahman, nothing else. That is the summit of spiritual realization, where all duality has been removed to find absolute unity of pure consciousness. So, Andokya Kariga had said the same thing, but Gita is saying from another point of view, that this is something that many have realized and many can realize because we have the organic capacity. Only we must turn in that direction. We have to learn how to discipline this psychophysical energy system and make it move in a direction of truth, not comfort and pleasure. Most people use this body-mind complex only for comfort and pleasure. That is today maximum in civilization. That's why they call it a consumerist civilization. We want only consumerist goods to pander to our physical system. And so a very efficient technology panders to your sensory craving. We are stuck up at the sensory level. But at some time we begin to feel this is irksome. It doesn't express the best of us. There is something missing. Let us try to understand that. At some time, every human being will begin to ask this question, what next? What next? What next? I have money, I have power, I have pleasure, everything. But something is missing. That experience is a tremendous experience. Out of that hunger comes this search for that divine food. That is the spiritual striving of the human individual. Many people in some of these advanced nations are experiencing this hunger. What Shankaracharya expressed it in his famous hymn, in the last refrain or the last line, Tatakim, 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 Tatakim. You have health, you have wealth, you have power, you have pleasure. Till the mind will ask this question, what next? What next? What else? What else? Tatakim, 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 Tatakim. What a beautiful expression. We may stifle it from the beginning, but sometime it becomes very insistent. You must listen to me, asking the man. Then you begin to think, yes, seriously, something is missing. Let me find out that something missing. And so, this spiritual striving is a real fact. Many have done it. That spiritual road has been walked by several people, like a pilgrim road. You can also walk over it. In this life itself, it's not something for a future life. Here and now, when you are young and vigorous, develop this refinery within yourself, so that your life will be really better. With this crude mind, how can you live a happy life? Crudity, the ego is crude, full of pettiness. For every petty thing you will quarrel and fight. That is the crude eye. When you refine it, it becomes beautiful. That's why it is meant for young people. From the age of 6 onwards, little refining must start. From 12 and 14, 15, 16, it must become a serious pursuit. Day-to-day work goes on. Money making goes on. Human relations go on. But this mind is changing, making it better instrument for this human relationship. That must go side by side with searching for economic benefits, social name and fame, etc. So this is what people forget. This is what Vedanta holds all the time before humanity. That is the road for you to travel. The other road is over for you. Physical pleasure is not meant for man to be the ultimate aim. It is only the beginning. A baby can have physical pleasure. For what else the baby seeks? Comfort and pleasure. Baby seeks nothing else. The safety and security and the warmth of the mother's body and the milk the mother gives. That's what the baby wants, nothing else. That is the first stage. But after 2.5 to 3 years, the baby wants knowledge. If mother gives milk again, he says, no, I don't want. I want something better. Better food and better mental food. More knowledge he needs. That's called human evolution. It is in that line of human evolution towards knowledge that when we proceed toward the end, we will find we are in the world of Brahman, the world of spiritual awareness. That is where knowledge matures into wisdom. That's what is to be done today, so that all this knowledge seeking becomes meaningful. Today it is only meaningful is only to fatten myself more at the physical level. My knowledge gives me more money, more pleasure, more comfort, that's all. Has it made you better? Not at all. The more knowledge and the more money, the more wicked also they become, more petty-minded become, having so much money and yet petty-minded. We want more money. All the evils in society today, you can see that. Therefore, our teachers said, march on. That is your evolutionary path and goal. Nature has given us this cerebral system with a tremendous capacity to discriminate, to fix goals, and to proceed in that direction. No animal has got it. Animals have only pleasure and comfort, and reproduction and effort for survival. That's all animals have. Man alone has the capacity to seek knowledge. Knowledge physical, knowledge spiritual. Both are knowledge for us. And so, let humanity take that road, not the road which we have already traversed as animals. This idea comes again and again in Mahabharata, in the Dhamma Shastras and other books that have finished that particular aspect. Who can, Vivekananda asked that question in his lecture in England and America, who can enjoy a food or a meal more with gusto than a pig? Can a man enjoy with that much gusto? Not at all. Pig's life is entirely in the body. It can enjoy a meal much better than you and I. Our experience in this physical realm becomes interfered with by our knowledge, by our thinking, by our logical faculty. So we cannot have that much enjoyment as an animal has. Animal body is meant for more and more of physical pleasures and comfort. Human body also can have it, but it is not its goal. It has to transcend it. It has to go beyond it. That is all what our teachers have said. Have it, just like children playing with toys, but don't continue. There are better things to come for you. That idea of better things, higher things, will be emphasized again and again in the case of man. That is human evolution. Otherwise it is absolute stagnation at the physical level. This human being, with an extraordinary instrument called the cerebral system, has become stagnant at the physical level. What a tragedy. That's what Vedanta says. That is called samsari. A man or a woman getting stagnant at the sensory level. That's called samsari. Not living in the world. Living in the world is not samsari, but getting stagnant at the physical level. So we begin to think about it. Then we find this cerebral system nature has placed at the top level of the human body. They could have put it in the leg or somewhere there. No, nature put it here at the crest because it's so sacred, so high, well protected, because that is the instrument of your own evolution. If you know how to use this instrument, according to physiology, all the ordinary functions of the body, so far as self-preservation is concerned, are done by the lower brain. Lower brain which we share with the animals. All this, survival, pleasure, all these are given for the lower brain. Only this higher brain has got a different function. How to take this life to higher levels? That this brain only can fix as well as take you on the road also. The far sight and foresight. That is the purpose of this cerebral system. But if you make this cerebral system as the servant of the old brain, what a tragedy it is. Just for survival, just for pleasure. This brain is used only for that. The more educated the person, the more he uses his brain for only survival and pleasure, not for higher things at all. That is the greatest tragedy of the educated in the modern age. That this higher brain, nature has intended to be the instrument of man's emancipation. I am quoting a neurologist in this connection, Grey Walter of England, who died a few years ago, I am told, when he said that various capacities have been developed in the animal body, mammal body, and now when you come to the human body, many new capacities have come. Now all these, what do they mean? So far as pre-human species were concerned, mammals particularly, They meant only survival. Say for example, temperature control in the body. We have got a constant temperature in the body. Though outside it is -10, here it is 98.4, constantly going on. That was achieved in the mammal body. Later mammals, not the early mammals. Early mammals had no this kind of thermostatic equilibrium within the body. But nature found they cannot survive. So in order to help it to survive, nature evolved this thermostatic equilibrium within the human body as in the animal body as well. So you have got it. What a beautiful thing it is. What is it for? For the animals, it is meant for survival on a cooling globe, says Greywater. But for man, it means emancipation. Can you become free? This is meant to help you to become free. Become free. See the language. For mammals, all, I am quoting the exact sentence, for mammals, all homeostasis, all this thermostatic and other equilibrium within the body means only survival. But for man, it means emancipation. Are we taking our life in that direction? Neurology itself is asking you this question. And Vedanta asked it ages ago to every human being. So in these slokas, you find man taking this truth seriously. This brain is not meant to be an instrument of mere personal survival. It is meant to take me to the highest level of freedom and take others also to that high level of freedom for spiritual growth, development and fulfillment. This is a great lesson that even the subject like physiology will teach us. And you do not know this truth. To make the higher brain the servant of the lower brain is the worst thing that we can do. The lower brain is meant only for survival, not for any other thing. But the higher brain gives you freedom. So release it from the clutches of the lower brain. Make it free. Let it function freely in its own way. That's all what we mean in Vedanta. The life Krishna referred to as yoga, buddhi yoga. Buddhau Sharanamanicha, he said earlier, take refuge in buddhi. Buddhi represents this higher brain, a wonderful quality, luminous. The other brain has no luminosity. It has only energy. And what you call survival purpose, it knows, nothing more. But luminous to see far ahead and take you in that direction, only buddhi can do. Therefore develop buddhi, Gita said. Buddhi alone can take you to the highest level, enlightened reason, enlightened intelligence. And Krishna is going to tell us later on, when I want to bless anybody, I only help him to develop this enlightened reason. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Yenamam upayantite, he will say later chapter. To them I give buddhi yoga, by which they will themselves find their way towards me. That buddhi yoga means detaching this higher brain from the control of the lower brain and making it function independently and freely. That will take you to higher and higher levels. That is, this is the instrument. Buddhi is the psychological counterpart of the physical thing called the higher brain. So, dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give you buddhi yoga. What's use of giving me money? What is use of giving me a little eatable or something? Give me buddhi yoga. I will get all these things myself. I get all the energy thereby. That is better. Therefore Krishna says, the best blessing that you can get is to have buddhi yoga. The worst, what you call, curse that you can have is to lose your buddhi. Second chapter you heard it. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. When the buddhi goes wrong, you fall down. You get destroyed completely. A man who does a terrible crime had buddhi nasha at that time when he committed the crime. So also any evil that we do, buddhi nasha is there behind it. But if the buddhi is alert, none of this will happen. So take recourse to buddhi. Develop your buddhi. That comes through what I said earlier, developing the psycho-physical system as a refinery of experience. When you refine experience, you take all that energy, transform it into high energy, and that becomes buddhi energy. The same psychic energy can be either at the sensory level, or at the psychic level, or at the buddhi level. Three levels are there. Same energy. Whatever functions through your eye and ear, etc., that is also psychic energy. But it functions at the sensory level. Very low level it is. When you go to the mental level, it is higher. A little more subtle and more pervasive. But when it comes to the buddhi level, it becomes pure, transparent, and full of energy, full of wide range and scope. That buddhi you develop yourself by converting body, mind into a refinery of experience. I refer to a character called Mahatma Gandhi. He had converted his body, mind into a high-class refinery. So when so much hatred came to him, he was beaten in South Africa. He took all that into that refinery and quietly transformed all of them into love and compassion. He told, don't do anything to that man. He is nothing, he is ignorant, doesn't know. He had no hatred, he never spoke ill of that person. Now what is that due to? There is no miracle in it. He has tried it, we don't try it. When we try it, we also can do it. Why not convert hatred into love in this refinery? You ask that question. When you begin to think about it, suppose a man hates me. I begin to think about that hatred, even then hatred becomes less. When you think of a subject, it becomes different. When you don't think about it, it rules over you. You are subject to it. Therefore, refinery means that jnana tapas. Convert the mind into a tapas of jnana. Convert the buddhi into energy. Fire, jnana agni. Put all this into that agni. It becomes burned down. Only energy comes out of it, which you can carry on to do the best of work in the world. So these are all intensely practical propositions. Many have done it. Why not I? Why not I? I can understand some people do not know these things. So they can know today, these books are there. Having known, we have to put it into practice and say, yes, this is meant to develop character. All the knowledge I gain is meant to put it into life, experience and character. That second step is important for all people. There is nothing impossible. When Gandhiji was told, how can you be non-violent? It is impossible. When he said, impossible, how many impossible things are becoming possible in scientific technology today? Gandhiji said then, now if he had lived, he would have more examples. What can be more impossible than landing on the moon? Imagine that. Would you ever think of that? Landing on the moon is a possibility. See that. And one of the voyagers is going beyond the solar system. Imagine going into outer space. This is most impossible thing. If technology, physical can achieve all this, cannot technology, mental achieve it? This control of the mind, this refinery of the whole system, where all experience comes, becomes refined, and pure products come out of it. What a beautiful idea. Nothing can inspire children more than these ideas today. Nobody has told them. If you tell them, your body, mind is a beautiful laboratory. You go to physics and chemistry laboratory, do so many things. Continue to do that. But don't forget that your own body and mind is a big laboratory. You have to refine all your experiences coming from there. Father scolded you one day, you become depressed. Convert that depression into cheerfulness once again by putting it through the refinery process. Very simple matter. When they are told, they do it. And at the time they can learn. Then it becomes stronger and stronger as days go by. This is the meaning of this wonderful verse. Verse 10. Vidaraga bhayakrodha manmaya mam upashritaha bahavo jnanatapasa puta madbhava magataha. Remember that word bahavo, many. It's not a new thing. It's an ancient road. In Buddha's time, 2,500 years ago, he himself said, I am not teaching anything new. I am only cleaning up a road that has been there. It has been overgrown with weeds. I am cleaning up so that people can walk over that road. This is the language he has used. Esha Dhamma Sanatana, Esha Dhamma Sanatana. This is an eternal Dharma. This is an eternal Dharma. It has been going on. Many have walked over this road. You also walk over this road. That is the invitation. Men like Buddha extend to all humanity with the full knowledge that humanity has the organic capacity to undertake this journey and succeed in it. Suppose we had no organic capacity. What's the use of telling all this? But no, even today's neurology will tell you, man has a tremendous capacity through this versatile cerebral system to achieve both knowledge of the world, knowledge of the self. Both you can achieve through the help of this versatile organism. This is the invitation Vedanta sends to all humanity, not for any sect or creed or any such thing. This is a human problem and this is a human solution. That universality in language and tone you can find in all these statements. And that is why the whole world is seeking a touch with this great wisdom. This is not knowledge but wisdom. Knowledge maturing into wisdom. And knowledge must mature into wisdom. Otherwise, knowledge will be dangerous. That is not the statement of a religious teacher. The statement of an agnostic named Bertrand Russell. He said, where this transformation of knowledge into wisdom is not there, knowledge can be dangerous, he said. And he ends that statement by saying, unless men increase in wisdom as much as in knowledge, increase of knowledge shall be increase of sorrow. What a wonderful language. When you have no knowledge, you have less sorrow. When you have more knowledge, you have more sorrow. Convert knowledge into wisdom, again you will become free. This is a line of advance for modern humanity. We shall continue. This subject of jnana is coming throughout this book, this chapter, 4 chapters. Jnana is a wonderful thing. Man alone has it. He has to cultivate it. He has to strengthen it. He has to make it like a fire in the heart of man, where everything is burned to ashes, everything becomes clear. This is how this chapter is going to deal with this subject of jnana, which has been begun now with this 10th verse. We shall deal with it next Sunday, as usual, at 6 p.m. We'll spend a few minutes in silence and then leave.